Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about the element of gold and its many meanings throughout the microcosm and macrocosm. So in the book of Job, chapter 28 verse 1, it says, "Surely there is a vein for the silver and a place for the gold where they find it." Gold, also known as ore, appears many times in the Bible. Metaphysically, gold symbolizes consciousness of the omnipresent richness of substance. To charge one's mind with gold, our thoughts and ideas must be pure and wise. Physically speaking, one should refrain from wasting the actual gold which is present in reproductive fluids and their energetic counterparts, which is known as sexual energy. Phosphorus is a highly important constituent of DNA, the molecule that is known to encode genetic information in animals and plants. And that is from page 588, The Cause of Menopause and Mercury is Not a Planet by T.L. Murray. Now, in 1981, gold was discovered in human semen. It is present both inside and outside of the spermatoza. An average person's body weighing 70 kilograms contains a mass of approximately 0.2 milligrams of gold. The research spanning 2 decades has revealed that gold content in sperm cells is essential for fertility. And that is page 1, Gold is Man's Best Friend, article for the India Times by Paul John. The golden rod, referred to several times in the Bible, is of course the spine, which carries the preserved gold, metaphysically and physically, upward to the throne. Now, the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666. That's 666 talents of gold, and that's 1 Kings 10:14. So in other words, the soul of man, which is Solomon, exchanges his decaying carbon 12-666 body for gold, for his soma heliacon body. The receptacle of gold, ore, or spiritual light is of course the pineal gland, which is the receiver and transmitter of golden solar energy. And I talk about this a lot more in my book, my new book, which is called Elevation, the Divine Power of the Human Body. According to the Garden of Eden, which is a really cool supplier of natural health remedies, which I'm not endorsed by the way, but I do genuinely love, says that colloidal gold has many benefits, including stimulating the nervous system, improved cognition, of course, and it's also inflammatory. There are other hormones and cholesterols within reproductive fluid that assist brain function too. When asked by one of his patients whether or not reproductive fluid retention was effective, Dr. Raymond Bernard replied, "You ask whether the draining from the body of lecithin and phosphorus through the sexual act will hinder the highest intellectual achievement and debilitate body and brain? Most definitely this is the case. Read my article on Do Neuroses and Psychoses Have a Chemical Origin in the June 1936 issue of the Modern Psychologist, in which I show that the loss of these nerve and brain foods through sexual indulgence in any form deprives the nerves and brain of needed nourishment and leads to nervous and mental disorders. Our insane asylums are now overfilled with the victims of thoughtless sexual indulgence, which has withdrawn valuable nutrients from the brain and disordered its functioning. These pitiful individuals, when in possession of their normal brain structure, never realise that with each discharge of seminal fluid, they are pouring forth the very substance of their nerves and brain, until a time is reached when their brain is so sapped of lecithin that it ceases to function. Measurements have shown an actual decrease in the lecithin content of the brains of the insane. This was due to previous sex indulgence, as a result of which the sex glands took up the blood's lecithin to replace expended fluids. And that is from page 4, Science Discovers the Physiological Value of Continence by Dr. Raymond Bernard. So in conclusion, I'd just like to share a really cool historical poster which actually details the facts about the presence of phosphorus in the body and how that coincides with different levels of consciousness and intellectual ability, focus, etc. Phosphorus is the light bearer, the former of salt. And gold is also used to signify the golden ratio, which is also known as the golden mean. 10 spirals of the golden mean, also known as phi, make the infinite nested pentagrams of the dodecahedron ascension vehicle. The invisible sacred geometry that is the scaffolding of DNA. And so it is no coincidence that phi is also seen in words like Philadelphia, as in the Church of Philadelphia, which is one of our major energy centers, and philosopher, as in the Philosopher's Stone, which is also another symbol that is used for one of the main endocrine glands. It's also no coincidence then that the word ratio appears in words like regeneration, generation, vibration, respiration, and inspiration, because these perfect golden spirals appear throughout all of creation. The burning of fat by phosphorus in the nucleus of the cell is what forms the spiral. The twisting of the nucleic acids, this is what makes the thread of life in DNA. And I'm just going to say that quote one more time because it's massive. What it's saying is everything that we need to know. The burning of fat by phosphorus in the nucleus of the cell is what forms the spiral, the twisting of the nucleic acids. This is what makes the thread of life, DNA. And that is from page 861, The Doldrums, Christ and the Plantanism by B.R. Garcia. Now, my book Elevation, The Divine Power of the Human Body, which is a study of the book of Revelation, contains a load more information regarding the elements and the alchemy which is hidden in the Bible, particularly the book of Revelation. So, thanks very much for watching. May divine love manifest itself in you always. Peace and light.